Welcome to the Lily Pad podcast. My name is April. I'm your host. It's Friday. I think it's raining, or it's going to rain soon. And tonight's topic is the paranormal. And I have three people here with me tonight in no particular order. I have Jen, Gina, and Derek. Now, I'm going to say, Derek, we've obviously known each other the longest because we're cousins. Thank you for coming.
We are cousins.
Yes, we are. Unfortunately, I feel bad for you.
I do too. Yeah.
Next is Gina. We've known each other. Gina's gonna talk like crazy tonight.
She looks like she's going to.
But we've known each other since first grade, and that's insane, right?
Right.
Yeah, and I am super happy that you're here, and I can't wait to talk about all this good stuff tonight. So thank you for coming, Miss. I might have to call you Miss Giggly.
Miss Giggly.
And Jen, this is not your first rodeo either.
No.
This is, like you said, the third time here, but second time actually with an actual show. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about the paranormal. So, you know, I've been trying to think about the format and what I want to do, and I just think we're going to just talk about, like, you know, do you guys actually believe? Like, Derek, I know you're a firm believer. I'm a firm believer. Gina, do you have, like, are you, like, on the fence? Like, do you have any... Are you open-minded? Blink once for yes, twice for no.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
I think we're just forgetting to breathe. No, wait, none of this is live.
Right.
I mean, it's still going to air online for the whole world to hear. So no pressure.
The whole world.
Listen, I only probably have literally
It's like
6
Penn and Teller. You can and 3 of them are here.
Right, exactly. So
no one will listen.
No one's afraid to.
No, I believe. I feel like I believe, but I don't want them, like, and I kind of don't believe, but I don't want anybody to prove it to me, like the spirits. So
well, good luck
I don't want to
tonight.
know anything. I don't want to know anything. I don't want them to show me.
Take a couple of home tonight.
I know. Oh, stop. Well, that's the thing.
Derek's also an instigator, and I apologize ahead of time.
God.
I do.
And I'm an easy target. So
and she's drinking a gigantic beer.
My yard.
Her yard of beer.
Stella Artois.
Yes.
Jen,
bottle of wine.
She's got a sippy cup.
Yeah. Jen's got her sippy cup, which is really cute.
I believe.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that I might see something, and so I freak the shit out of myself. I freak myself out.
This is online.
Yeah, I scare myself all the time when I think about things, but I totally believe in signs. I've seen signs. I've experienced something.
Yeah.
And it scared the crap out of me, and
It can.
Yeah, and I hope
can.
not to experience other, and again, like you said, taking things home with you. Yeah. I built my house for a reason because that's how scared I am.
Oh.
Like, I don't want to be in someone else's house where someone else's mojo's been in there. Like, no.
Wow.
We dug our
so
own
you
ground.
like to go fresh.
Yeah.
And I told her, when she told me that, when I was at her house, I said, well, how did you know what's on the ground? What did you build on?
But that's okay. Like, there were trees there before, and we took them all down.
Yeah, they're dead now.
Yes, now the trees are pissed. Trees are mad.
Yeah.
Good one. So, you guys obviously know that I believe. I've been a believer since I was a little girl. My first spirit was my grandfather. But I was afraid at first. I was afraid and I wasn't afraid. It was kind of like, I can't see him. I know he's okay. Like, it was one of those things where you know you weren't going to get hurt, but you still don't understand the whole thing. And I love having this in the basement because it sounds like there's, like, the creakies on the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
I know what my mother is at any given time.
Oh, there's no one up there right now.
Oh.
Well, not to stray, but I'll reel back in a second, but what I do to torture my poor mother. And I try to do this when I already know she's up. So call the house from my cell phone. So she goes and gets the phone that I hang up. I'm so mean to my mother. I don't know why.
Why do you do that?
Because I'm a jerk. I'm a jerk. But no, if it does it again, then she starts yelling at me because she knows it's me. I can hear her scream through the floor.
That's awesome.
I don't know why she puts up with me, but no, sometimes when I hear her walking around, I'll call her, whatever. But, so yeah, I'm a firm believer since I was a little kid, and I've gotten more sensitive over the years, things like that, and it evolves. But I do notice that when it comes to this whole paranormal thing, it's a fear that really is what gets people. Mm-hmm. Fear will stop you from doing almost anything depending on the level and how intense it is, really. Gina, you look like you're about to burst. Like, are you even breathing? I'm so glad you're here. Like, I've known Gina, like, since first grade.
I know. It's crazy.
First grade. It's just amazing that, and it's the first time I think we've hung out since probably that birthday picture.
My 11th birthday.
11th birthday, yeah. But, so, I mean, we kind of established that we're all pretty much believers here. And, like the fear level, you're not sure what you want to see, what you want to see. The thing is...
I'm cool with stuff, I'm cool with stuff, but I just, I don't want anything to come home with me. That's my thing. Like, I don't know why.
Well, I mean, nobody wants to
wouldn't it be
to guess.
somebody you know?
Hopefully. Right. I'm fine with that.
Well, unwanted guests are never welcome, regardless.
Well, I mean, someone I know, fine, but
to honestly, if you really listen to your gut, you'll know if something's going on.
Well, no, I always
like you feel it.
We always
no way around it. You feel it.
We always talk about at home, we just talk about someone in our family, like. Oh, we don't have to worry about that because he's always here. Like, he's always protecting us. Like, we always talk about that in our house.
Yeah.
Like, my kids know it. I know it.
Yeah. See, I believe that even when somebody passes, they're still in that realm and they're still doing what they're supposed to be doing over there. But I feel being in that, because, we're energy. Energy doesn't really die, just changes form. So I feel like they still can come back and visit at any time. They do. I mean, from my personal experience, it's happened to me. I've had random visitors and, like, tell me their names and I write stuff down. Sometimes I kind of get a visual in my head. But that was something that developed over the years. I wasn't always like that. When I was a kid, I always just could tell when I wasn't alone.
Is that a family trait? Like, do other people in your family have that same gift that you have?
He does. He's so technically,
like
yes.
A magnet for that stuff.
Yeah, he's become quite the magnet.
That's pretty cool.
I think my family's always been open-minded to that kind of stuff. My family's always pretty open-minded to a lot of things. But I think as far as at this level, I think Derek and myself are probably really the ones that... And cousin Chris is kind of like that too.
Yeah.
But I think we're the generation that really just kind of is outward about it.
Well, my grandfather was. He was,
I think it does go through the family. I just don't know at what level because I never talked about it when I was younger, so I'm not sure. But I know that there's a link through history with the family. But
yeah, I feel like my mom's mom, she's still alive. She's 94. I feel like she definitely has some stuff going on.
Yeah. Well, another thing that I know about with spirits, and I think you could probably attest, is that they know your fear level. So if there is kind of like, and it sounds funny, but it's not. Pick a safe word. So with my experience with spirits, it's the second they know you're aware and to what they call sensitive to it, you're like a candle in a dark room. So they're going to be attracted to you. So if they know that you have boundaries, though, not like kids, and I'm not comparing them to kids, but it's like, listen, if I say, popcorn shrimp, back off. I love popcorn shrimp too. I'm a foodie. Shrimp. I might veer off, so reel me back. So to my own worst enemy. But if you have boundaries, and even, my friend Jeff has a safe word, and he'll say a certain thing, even if you just say it mentally, they hear it. They'll keep their distance.
What if you're sleeping?
I've had a few stories from when I was sleeping.
I had one. That's why I'm like, I just remembered now as you were talking about this, and that's why
you have to tell us.
Sleeping?
You totally have to tell us. I'll tell you mine. Tell me first. You gotta tell me first. Take a couple more sips of beer.
I'm dying to know.
It was the night of my daughter's birthday, just June 26th. She turned 10, and I was in bed, and I had a dream, and it was my, I heard, how did she say it? She goes, I hear this, I'm like, what? I was on the phone. I answered my phone in my pocket, and I go, what's the matter? Who is it? I go, what's the matter? And she goes, I miss Natalia. And it was like a scary, deep voice, but it was my Nana in my head. Like I knew I was talking to my grandmother. And I said, are you all right? And I said, she's right here. Do you want us to come over? We'll come over now. And all of a sudden I was like, it was almost like I was brought up, and my heart was racing, like out of my chest. And like I actually grabbed my husband. He's like, what's the matter? And I woke up, and he was feeling my chest, and my heart was racing. So I think I don't know if I scared myself but I knew it was her, but it was a scary voice. It was like, and it was my daughter's birthday.
Yeah,
I like those when that happens.
Goosebumps. Look, I still have goosebumps because I still get scared
stuff like
from that.
Happened to me. Like I've had, like, my grandmother will look at me and say something to me, and I'm like, oh, but it's when I'm sleeping. So I'm like, is this a dream or is it real? And I believe it's real. I'm like,
real.
she said this to me, and my grandfather has said certain things to me, and I'm like, and I tell Wayne all the time, like, this is exactly what she said, or this is exactly, I'm like, it was real. I'm like, it was
And you
awesome.
remember it, like,
and I'm fine with that now. That does not scare me at all.
Why was
No.
I scared? Like, I wasn't scared in my dream. I was
probably
like,
the first time I think I got scared.
oh, I was
Now,
like,
what about
what's
you,
that?
Derek? Have you had anything like that, like dream-wise, or were you...
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, sometimes it's... Yeah, I've had a lot of dreams, especially when my mom passed away.
Yeah. How long ago has it been for your mom?
2002.
Okay.
Yeah. The craziest thing after she passed away and I came back from Europe, I could feel her in the house.
Yeah.
Really, it was like
Like
a heavy,
physically feel her?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was unbearable actually. It's just I couldn't see her, and it was like what. So
Do you say things out loud? Like, I know you're there?
yeah. So I remember there was one night where I couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep in days when I went back home, after she passed away. And I went to my dad's and I'm like, Dad, I'm sleeping with you in that bed because I just can't. She's here. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, well. So I laid down, falling asleep, and I hear a voice saying to me, now, was I dreaming? Was I up? I was probably right in between there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like a twilight sleep. Like
Yeah.
right before
I
you...
knew I was there,
That's
but I
where
knew I
all the
was
weird
sleeping.
shit happens.
That's when I hear, get
Well
off
said,
me, I'm
Jen.
trying to sleep. That was her side of the bed.
Oh.
And I said, Mom, you're dead. I haven't slept in days. Just give me a break. I was almost like comical the way I
Yeah.
said it. And that
I'm
was
sure
it.
she
She was
laughed.
gone. She was gone.
kinda like
I
my
fell
poor
asleep. I had a
baby,
good
yeah.
sleep after that. But it was,
Oh, wow, well.
I'm not even kidding. It was clear as day.
And you know what? Not to elaborate on being stern. Sometimes, like, I remember walking into work. Walking in the house from work. Can't even talk today.
Okay.
I remember walking into the kitchen. I was so mad about work, and if for some reason I went to walk in, and I just felt like a group of them coming. I'm like, no, not in a bad way. My house is a very
I'll be escorting her to the bathroom in a little while.
the look on your face. God, I wish I had cameras in here already. No, it was just like, well, it technically was a group, but it wasn't a threatening group. It's just my house. Like, they like to hang out at my house because my house is a very safe. Like she was saying, the energy in here is very nice, safe, and is protected. But there were a few of them that were coming towards me because they wanted to talk to me. Like, they were excited, and I was just like, not now. I'm freaking pissed.
Did they leave you alone?
They walked right. They said, all right, later. Like, it was just like they turned right around. I was just like, okay, not right now. It's just kind of like, like when you say with like sometimes it's like kids like, mommy, like, not now. Go play with
Well,
whatever.
it's nice that they listen to you because the real people don't.
The real
No,
don't.
real people don't. Yeah, real people are actually a lot worse.
My grandmother said that. So after my grandfather passed away, she said, "Oh, I talk to him all the time." And I remember my son was kind of like wide-eyed, and I was like, "Oh, that's fine." And she's like, "Yep, I feel him next to me in bed. Like sometimes I feel him put his arms around me, and she's comforted by it." And I think that's awesome. I'm like,
No, it is great. And I want to say corrected. I shouldn't say real people because spirits are people.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are still real people. They're just not in 3D form.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Flesh.
I look at it this way. Like I compare, like someone who's passed away when their soul leaves the body. It's kind of like when you meditate, and when someone, sometimes those people have a hard time grasping on how to like really do that. And I compare it, like I say, your body is like your car, and you're parking your car, locking it up, taking a walk, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because sometimes people just like take off when they meditate, they get like in real deep trances, and they go off and do that. It's kind of like the same thing when you pass away. This is not working, but the energy's still there. And so, no, I completely believe that. Mm-hmm. I've actually been scared awake a few times by. I've gotten tugged. Yeah, I've gotten tugged. Like you know a twitch when you get like a little twitch.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Gina.
When I was little,
Someone get her a shot.
when I
A
was
whole bowl of wine there. Just kill that.
Listen, Gina, I'll
Yeah, you
grab
get
you
that,
home, I
yeah.
promise.
Warm.
When I was little, I remember being in bed and I would feel like a popping on my back all the time. And it would scare the crap out of me. And I
still
remember
feel that.
getting out of bed,
Oh yeah.
getting out of bed and like going in my mom's room. No, I didn't have anything back then. And that didn't happen as I got older. But I was in a hotel probably about a month and a half ago, and I woke up the next, like, I didn't sleep for the rest of the night because I had felt someone, like, do this. And I got, like, I was like, you know, holy crap.
Who died in that room?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, where was this?
So, like,
Someone did.
You know what's so funny, though? Because when I travel a lot for work, and when I first used to travel for work, that was what I was afraid of. And then, you know, after traveling so much, you forget about it. And then that one night it happened. I was like, oh, that stinks. But I traveled a bunch since then.
This happened when you were traveling?
Yes.
Oh, geez, Louise.
But last week was a whole different story. Nothing.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get into
I didn't
that.
experience anything last week other than I scared myself so much based on the conversations we were having. My heart beat so hard throughout the night that I'm like, I'm probably going to die in this room. Or is that someone banging on the door? Or is that my chest? Yeah, I was like, but the other woman that I was with also was scared, and she's like, oh, I just slept on my back so I can keep an eye on everything that was happening around me.
That's how
I
she
kept
slept
my
with her eyes wide open.
She kept her eyes, she didn't sleep, she kept her eyes open. Me, I kept mine shut, and then I had to go to the bathroom, and I was like, don't open your eyes, feel the walls. I was I scared the crap out of myself. Where the other woman was like, I had to make that decision. Will tonight be the night that I wet myself? Dying.
I went up to the Mount Washington Hotel a few years ago. We stayed a night. A couple of friends of ours had like one of those Groupon things, so 4 of us went up. And I can't even explain the energy in that place. Because just the history of stuff. Like, that place is just electric. It was absolutely amazing. I didn't even have to do anything. You just walk in there and you're just like, wow, there's still a lot here. Nothing, and this is the thing. Like, you know if it's negative.
Yeah.
It's like that whole gut feeling thing when you're teaching kids. If you have a gut feeling that something's not right, it ain't right. Same thing with paranormal. You can just tell the difference in energy if something is warm and safe versus not warm and safe.
Well, kind of like you said, that there's a lot here, but I walk in and I feel very happy and safe here. But there are people's homes that I've gone to where I'm like, I don't like being here. I don't want to be here. I don't feel comfortable here.
Yeah.
So that's probably something.
That's
that
why
what
this
you're
house
saying?
is wonderful. Like, I was telling her how our family's the only family that's ever lived in this house, and this house has a lot of activity because of the energy, and it's a safe house, and it's protected and things like that. And it's just, I can really feel the difference sometimes. You know, sometimes it's really quiet. Sometimes it's, not. But I've been tugged in bed a couple times where my arm was pushed, and then I basically said to them, I said, no more when I am in bed, please. I want to sleep. And it was like kind of like one of those things where you were right before you went to sleep. You felt, and like, when you do like a weird twitch, this was like somebody like gently pulled on my leg, and I was like, and I opened my eyes, and I'm like, that wasn't a twitch. And then I could sense and feel someone being completely scared, because I scared them because I felt what they did. They weren't expecting that. Like, sometimes you can scare them because they don't even realize that you can acknowledge them, like that are people that can pick up on their energies or even sense them. And that's happened quite a few times where.
So why are they just doing that?
I don't know. Sometimes it just.
Can't you just say, like, like for someone like me, like, hey, if you're listening, don't touch me when I'm sleeping because you'll scare me and I won't be able to sleep, and I need rest to like get through my day.
That's what you tell them. Don't.
But can't they just know that?
If you tell
Do I
them
have to
once,
say
usually
it?
that's all
Yeah.
you need to do.
Yeah.
Not when I'm in bed. The second I'm on that mattress, back away.
Say it before you go to bed.
Yeah. But yeah, if they're, that's what you just put out there, that that kind of activity is not welcome at when you're going to bed. It's simple as that.
So why are there people like me that are hypersensitive to being afraid of something? Like, do you think it's because I believe in it and I'm afraid that I'm going to experience something, so I'm trying to like push it out? Or like, could I be someone who, if I opened myself up to it and said, okay, show yourself,
Well,
like,
I think,
like, why am I so afraid of it? Like, I feel like if someone, was an intruder in my home, I could deal with it a hell of a lot better than I could if it was,
I think your
a
fear
spirit.
is generated by you not wanting something bad to happen to you.
Yeah, true.
So you get so worked up on it that the fear that you have for something that is, because I'm not like 100%. I get nervous too, because when you open yourself up to something like that, you know, there's good and bad in everything. You know, not everything is glitter and unicorn. Some of it, you got to have the whole light and dark side of it. So being a sensitive isn't always the greatest thing, because sometimes it can scare you a little bit. You know, it's because you don't always know everything about that. The fear will paralyze you if you let it, depending on what it is that you're doing. Now, you obviously like the whole paranormal and the spirit realm and everything, and you do believe in it. I think that your fear of something bad happening while you believe in something like this could be getting the best of you.
I think that's like true with many things in life too, like other things that I'm afraid of.
It's also about acceptance. One of the things I learned when I was taking a Reiki class, the last time I was getting attuned, they told me, my instructor said, you have to be okay with the outcome of everything. It's just, it is what it is. Like, what's supposed to happen is going to happen. Try to be okay with it as best you can. And not that you're not going to be disappointed. There's going to be times when you're disappointed or hurt or mad, but then there are going to be times that you're so enlightened or so empowered and so happy or whatnot. But you have to be okay with whatever is going to be the result of something. So if you're going to believe in the spirit realm, and this is kind of, I think, what's happened with me, although I think, and I will touch upon the meditation side of it with you in a minute, Derek, is I think that once you come to terms with a lot of things or certain things that are associated with that fear, it kind of dissipates. You know what I'm saying? So for me personally, when I came to the terms with, okay, well, I'm not going to like everything about this, but this is part of who I am. This is part of what I do. And I mean, I'm not perfect with the whole thing, you know, but the more I come to terms with certain things, the more open and more things get balanced. And I think that might help out. Because I think you're really afraid of something bad or something negative.
Yeah, absolutely.
Popping in there. And I think you have to, at one point, just say, you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm strong enough. I'll face whatever comes in front of me. And protect yourself. I'm also really good at doing that. I think sometimes that blocks some of the stuff out.
Right.
What do you mean by protecting yourself?
Kind of like a shielding.
Like how?
I try to envision once in a while, like when you meditate, I protect my body, because, you know, you meditate regularly, Derek, so I'm going to have you chime in here in a minute, but when you meditate, sometimes you can just take off and go wherever you want. That's why when you come back from meditation, you're cold. Your body, it's almost like you're parking your car, locking it up, setting the alarm, I'll be back in a half an hour, don't go anywhere. You know, kind of thing. That's why a lot of times you can get cold. Okay. Well, it's part of it, because you kind of...
That's a good analogy.
You know...
Let me know, like, I don't have time to do that. Like, I'd like to.
Like, you don't even need to do it for half an hour. You do it for 10 minutes. Yeah. What I also like to call sometimes... Well, you have to... Well, I'm not saying you have to. It's hard. It's easy for me to say this, because I don't have the husband and the kids, so it's easier for me. But if you can take 5 minutes, and I also call it quiet sitting, like, not necessarily meditate and go, you know, under and do that whole thing. Just sit with, like, a lowly lit... Whatever makes you completely comfortable. And sit for 5 minutes... Not say anything, just sit there with your eyes closed and just kind of ground yourself if you can. That'll help. That's meditation right there. You can do it in a matter of minutes. You don't have to... The thing with meditation and trying to just get more connected and more balanced is you don't have to sit there for an hour with your legs crossed and you know, and, you know, saying the Om. You can. There are all kinds of ways of meditating, but if you can just quiet sit for yourself and for your mind for 5 minutes a day. If you have to do it in the bathroom before you take a shower.
I'm thinking the things I have to do. I'm like, I gotta do laundry.
Well, that's a place where I can.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you can take 5 minutes and not do that, and just put yourself somewhere else, someplace that you know would always make you happy, like in a.
I used to go for hypnosis, and it was the coolest experience because I would go under like this. And
I don't ever want to be hypnotized.
No.
Nope. I don't like the thought of somebody having control over me.
Yeah, I didn't feel like the person had control over me.
No, I think that's just a good thing for me. It's
which now that you brought that up, though, I'm like, should I have been worried about that? No, but I liked it because it was like I left there like, wow, I feel like much better. It was kind of cool.
Now, when you've recently started meditating again, Derek, you were telling me, and you got to tell these guys what you were telling me. Some of the things that have been, you know, going bump in the day and night.
Anyway, yeah. I was meditating all the time, and I'd stopped for like a few years, and I started doing it again. And I would say within a week to 10 days of starting meditating, I started hearing at the house a little girl's voice. Like, hi, Derek. I just calling him, like, what the? I'm thinking, now the walls are thin. I'm thinking, okay, maybe there was someone next door, but there was no one home on either side. Mm-hmm. And why would they be calling my name? They wouldn't know me.
Yep.
So I'm thinking, I did think I was crazy because it's the first time I've ever heard it that, like, something that clear. Mm-hmm. So I just let it go. And then my dad one day said, someone just called my name. Like, I wasn't even home. I go, who what? Because I don't know if it was a guy or a girl. Okay, whatever. But someone definitely called my name, he said. And then I told him what happened. He goes, oh, okay. Well, for him, it's kind of normal, too, because he's experienced stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But then when I was away for a weekend, my girlfriend was by herself, and we have a sort of a cupboard where we put bottles of alcohol on the top. Mm-hmm. And she heard something. She felt something in the house, so she went downstairs, and she looked behind the stairs, and we have this big, tall thing standing there. And one of the bottles was just moving back and forth by itself, and it stopped when she looked at it. But it didn't scare her. Like, it didn't scare me. She even went downstairs later, watched TV, and fell asleep there. Mm-hmm. And then she said that later, when was that? I think it was like a week later, maybe last week even, she was brushing her teeth, and my toothbrush in the cup started moving. So she told me, I just saw your toothbrush moving. And the strange thing about it was that the toothbrushes we have, they're the disposable electric ones, mm-hmm. and we use them just the same. Her and I, we use them the same amount of time during the day and everything. And after that, it was empty. There was nothing. There's no power left in it after that. It was completely drained.
Now, to like touch upon like the whole the shows where they do the ghost hunting and things like that, and I have had not a lot of experience with the equipment, but they have the EVP.
Yeah.
Anything electronics, when a spirit comes around, it drains it.
Oh, I've been having all kinds of issues with electronics, like missing files, computers doing this and that. And just all of a sudden it's starting to happen, you know. And when I've been meditating, I've been feeling like a touch on my chin, or then I would just say, "Don't do that," you know. And then it would stop. Actually,
it would stop.
It would stop, and then I would feel a presence in the room while I'm meditating. Like all of a sudden, I'd feel something standing next to me, and I'd just have my eyes closed. I didn't feel threatened though; it didn't scare me. It was just a little bit uneasy. And then was it the other day? I heard her say, "I like greens and carrots."
Wait, this was this past week?
This after we talked. This was on Monday, I think. I'm like, "What are you telling me that for? I'm not cooking for you."
Maybe she's hungry.
Yeah, well, she's a spirit. Find it.
I'm hungry.
Go get it.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
you can will it.
Who says greens and carrots? Not many people say
What little
greens.
kid said? What little kid says I like greens and carrots? What was that?
Olden days.
It's olden days, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How old's your place?
It's got to be
That's
from a
true.
long time
You're
ago.
right.
Yeah.
It's old.
Well, that place is old, but the strange thing is that I've heard this girl's voice in another location at the beach. So I don't think she's
attached to
native
you.
to that place. I think she's just floating around, and like April said, I think that I
she's
attract
a
it.
local. I think she's familiar with the area, and
I'm sensitive to that
because
stuff.
he's sensitive. She is more attracted to him because he picks up on it.
But the woman next door, remember?
That was interesting.
Yeah, she was leaving. She lives directly next door.
Where you used to live, the unit you were in.
Right, exactly. I used to be in that unit. But she said right around the time the people before us left and we were going to move in next, the place was empty. And what did she say that the little girl...
Before you say that, he had told me about her last week when you were around the house on Saturday.
Right.
Oh, by the way, we're still having coffee, but Mom's got something to do, so she's got to start getting ready at 11. Okay. Everybody comes over on Saturdays. This place is filled with uncles and donuts and coffee.
Oh,
and then sometimes it turns into Sambuca Saturday. They do Sambuca shots.
It might be Sambuca Saturday tomorrow.
I don't know. No, Mom can't be doing shots of Sambuca. She's
We
going
should have
to
done my grandma's.
You're not
They're still on Sundays.
Okay, Mom.
Oh.
Okay, we totally deviated.
We deviated. It's not where we're going right now.
But so no, you had mentioned this girl to me on Saturday last week. So as I'm on the way up, I was kind of getting a couple of visuals. And I remember, you know how some of the girls will do the two buns here versus the bun here? So I saw this girl having two buns here, glasses, wire glasses, possibly even braces, by the way.
I just mentioned that, yeah.
And I got the name Mindy, and that she wasn't older than 15. She was maybe closer to 10.
And I didn't say anything like that to you about the age. I just said I just heard a voice, and that was about the age.
Your neighbor said that before they moved into the place was empty, she heard a girl say, "Mommy."
Right.
But I wanted you to find out if she was like doing the mommy, like looking for mommy, or mommy, like she was getting reprimanded. So don't forget to ask that.
All right, I'll ask her.
But she said it sounded like a young girl next door.
Yeah.
So I think this girl is local to the area or whatnot, but she's attracted to him because he's so open to it now.
Yeah, even this morning I was practicing the piano and I felt something come right behind me. And I said, listen, don't come right behind me. I'm practicing. I've talked to someone else.
I already can't
and
see
I
you.
felt
You don't
her
ever
move
sneak up on
around
me.
to the side.
Doesn't it mean they have unfinished business? Like
Sometimes.
Like I feel like I've always heard that when they're still around.
Well,
like it means
I
like if
used to
they're
watch-
coming to you, they're coming to you for a reason.
I used to watch A Ghost Whisperer all the time. That show. The
Oh,
Ghost
yes,
Whisperer. I
me
used to love
too.
that show. And I do feel that a lot of the times that is the case. But I'm not sure about this one yet. We got to find out how she sounded. But like sometimes it is unfinished business. Sometimes they don't realize that they're gone.
That's sad.
Sometimes it could be like a residual. There's like a residual type of an energy where it's like a replay of an event all the time, but it's not really that they're there. But I haven't experienced anything quite
The
like
guy that actually was there since the place was built, or his father owned the place originally, I got to talk to him and see if there's anything
But
going on there.
I will say that I feel that they are here sometimes to protect us and watch over us. Because one time I was sleeping, I was dreaming, and I remember I was facing in a certain direction, and I was looking out that side of the house, outside like Mom's window, the bedroom window over there. And I don't remember. It was the neighbor's yard, but it wasn't the neighbor's yard. You know how everything's always a little different in your dreams, and dreams are primarily symbolic anyway. But I remember looking at my phone in my dream, and the spirit got mad at me because I wasn't paying attention to them. Well, the spirit, literally, I felt this person jump into the bed with me and push the phone out of my... But I was dreaming at the same time. It was really kind of weird. It was kind of like both.
I don't like those.
And it scared me. It scared me awake to the point that I think I mentally yelled for my nana, my mother's mother, and I literally heard her barrel-assing down the hallway saying, "Who just got that close to my granddaughter?"
Oh, that's
Like,
cool.
like I feel like they do protect you, you know. But it was really weird because I don't scare that easy, but I do get startled, and I was just like, I woke up, I was like, what the hell just happened? Like, what was that? What was that? And I know I mentally screamed out for her because I heard her coming down the hallway, and it was, you know, it's like, you know, Mama Bear, like, you know, no one's, all right, the gloves are coming off. It was just,
that's
it was really
cool.
strange.
I think that's cool.
And this particular spirit, it was another situation where this person was so, I could feel them because I'm empathic to a certain extent. Like I think I shield myself too much. We got to get back to that shielding. I shield myself a lot that I think I block out too much. Sometimes I think I need to feel more, but I have to learn to get that balance. But I felt this person that they were so upset that they scared the living daylights out of me. Like, you know when you can tell when someone's mad at you and then like, or, you know, you empathize with a person and how that's kind of how I feel sometimes. Like, a lot of the times if I have a spirit come around me, I can possibly sense an ailment, you know, or if it's something, you know, like sometimes upper respiratory or something wrong with their knee or whatnot. Sometimes that can happen too, but I felt this person felt so bad, and I was like, it's all right. That's when I basically said, okay, no more after, you know, when I'm in bed. Second night, that's it. No. You got to have boundaries. But for shielding, it's kind of something I learned when I started getting really good at meditation. It's kind of like putting like a little shield around yourself, like a protective field.
So you think about it and it's there.
And I envision it, and I have a certain way that it looks. I have a certain way that it's supposed to be. But I think I've gotten so good at it that I'm too shielded. And I want to kind of get a little more of a balance of getting the sensitive side a little more, you know, closer to the surface and kind of have a balance. Because I think I shield off too much sometimes. Okay. So I think that's where meditation will kick in too, because I think meditation helps you balance and you start feeling better emotionally and up in your mindset, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And when you have a balance, you know, when you feel good emotionally and things like that, it kind of helps physical balance too. But everything works hand in hand, as we all know.
I go back to that story, but go back to an instance like 20 years ago.
I'm going to pause for 1 second. We're going on 35 minutes before that. We're going to take a quick break.
Pause for a station break?
Station break. Station break. After these messages.
Yeah.
I don't really have any commercials.
Well, let's do it anyways. Let's make up something.
We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back on the lily pad. And we are back on the Lily Pad podcast. And if you're just joining us, Derek, Gina, whoop. Did it get sent off okay, Jen? I love that noise. So if you're just joining us, we are talking the paranormal. And we just took a little bit of a break, refreshed our glasses, all that good stuff. How are we all doing? You guys doing good?
Great.
Yep. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So I kind of rudely cut you off before we took the break.
What was I even talking about?
Well, I was hoping you remember because I actually forgot.
I forgot.
Do you guys remember? This is the problem with being, old.
You were talking about where he lives and that someone is kind of attached to him. Did we already get past that part?
We went past my mom's story, then we went
to the girl.
The little girl.
The girl.
I was going backtracking like 20 years so something happened on the beach.
Thank God you remember, Jen, because we would have been dead in the water.
I love this stuff.
Yeah, so it was about 1 or 2 in the morning, late night at the beach, off season, probably October, November. And a friend of mine, now lives in San Diego, we were having a hot coffee and Zambuca on the beach, just sitting there, pitch black. And we see this in the distance, this little like orb. It's moving around, going up the beach, going down the water and everything. And him and I are both looking at it, and we look at each other, we look at our glasses, like, are you seeing that? Yeah. So we kept drinking, and we're just watching this thing, and it's coming towards us, it's going away, it's going in the water. And you know how your eyes adjust to real darkness, so you see anything, the least amount of brightness? Yeah. Mm-hmm. This was like, it was like the color of that bluish color of that lamp right there, and it just had this glow, and it looked like it might have been even 2 of them. It looked like they're running in and out of the water. It was crazy,
like kids,
yeah,
or like people,
people, kids, whoever. Yeah. But they were, I don't know what it was, but it was there for at least a half hour.
Wow, that's really cool.
And we went to walk towards it, and it seemed like we couldn't get close to it. It just kept going further away. And we thought it was a reflection on the water, so that's why we went closer. We're thinking, okay. And usually we get to the point where the reflection was, but...
Not the Zambuca?
It might have been the Zambuca. But
you hear about people that have those experiences all the time, or like they take a picture, they see an orb, or a person I know that we actually went to high school with she had a Nest camera, and she had just moved into a house. I don't want to say her name because I'm not close to her. But she's like, look at this. And it looked like there was like an orb playing in a driveway in the middle of the night. And someone's like, oh, that's just, a spider web and a bug in the spider web from the camera. But it was erratic. It was like, it was really interesting to see what it looked like. It was kind of cool.
Wow.
Anything like that happen? Did anything weird happen to you ever, Gina?
You can talk.
Yeah, just little things, but it's mostly my grandmother.
That's cool.
Nothing, that I can remember, but nothing. My brother says his house is. So in Florida, right?
I was just saying, where's your brother live? But that's obviously a little far of a commute.
That
in Florida
made my arm stand up.
I ended up being on a couch because I slept on this couch, and
you have to tell us.
He
what
scared
happened,
me so bad that I had to. Well, I didn't see anything. He just told me about things that happened. So when I had to sleep there, I was underneath the covers, and I just closed my eyes, not breathing, and I'm like, just don't talk to me. Don't come near me. I don't want to know anything. And he has crazy things happen all the time in his house, and it's a boy. He thinks it's a little boy, like a little kid, but. He's like, oh, he's fine. He's like, did you leave a crayon here last time you were here? I'm like, no, the kids had markers. We didn't have crayons. Now, he's gay, and he has a husband, my brother. Yeah. So they don't have crayons in the house. All of a sudden, this crayon came out of the laundry room and rolled out the week after I left. And he's like, you left crayons here. I'm like, we don't have any crayons. We had markers.
No, this is the weirdest thing. And because I have the headphones on, because I'm just, like I said, I'm monitoring how we all sound. If I sound like I'm talking loud, let me know. But... Christopher?
What? Who's Christopher?
I don't know. That's the name I was getting when you were talking about the little boy.
Oh, no, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. He just said that it's somebody in the house. That he doesn't know what. And I just go into the covers when I sleep there.
And like, it's funny because sometimes I'll get like,
Understand that one.
I said I was going to get a hotel. He said, nothing's happened in a long time. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, what?
Spent most of my childhood under the covers.
Oh,
Terrified most of the time.
oh, scary.
Me too.
I was never terrified, but like I said, I had my experiences, but they were never, I never really got scared. Yeah. But I think I blocked some of it out for a long time because I never really paid attention to it, after a certain, and then I got older and then it just kind of started happening again.
Seriously. Yeah.
Definitely started happening. So, for everybody who's, the 5 people that might listen to this show, I've asked all my friends here to bring a couple of things that,
Is this 3 of the 5?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I don't
you're
listen.
the 4th, actually.
No, I don't listen.
Seriously?
There's someone else out there. No, I'm afraid to listen to my own voice. I did tell people, I said,
if you ever want to listen.
Well, if I don't do anything silly like cry or do anything weird, then maybe I'll let people listen to the show.
Yeah, but that would make it more entertaining.
No. For
me, it would be.
Yeah. Yeah, I put up like walls, like I am a certain person, and I don't want anybody to see the real me at work. I'm just kidding. So if I start doing something silly, I'm almost done that one.
Oh, we have some more here.
Yeah.
You can have all the way. 3/4.
I can hear the little jingles of your ice cubes in your
Oh, and I'm still slurping. I'm like, because I have a cover on it, like a real sippy cup, because I might spill.
Well, I think the more cups you have, the higher chance it would be. So that's actually a good thing. It's a protective cup. I mean, it's not like everything's really worth a whole lot of money.
Well, the calories.
Well, it's like I usually have this by my pool, and I just I'm like, oh, I'll just bring this one with me.
There you go.
Insulated.
It's cute. Yeah. You still don't even have a drink. Huh?
No, I'm good.
All right. Yeah. So right now I'm doing what they call psychometry. I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly. I always say it wrong. And it's where you hold an item that belonged to somebody and you may or may not pick up certain details that might be associated with that person. So you guys were so wonderful enough to bring 2 things for me to make double the work. Yeah, I said one thing, but you've all been just kidding.
How often do you do this?
Not often, but I sometimes, like the most recent time I did this was, I feel like I'm yelling with those things on. I do. I probably wasn't I?
No, you were fine. Oh, you're very natural.
No.
Okay. A lady at work.
Can you speak up?
Sure. She gave me a key that belonged to her niece. So all day at work, I was just kind of holding on to it, and I was jotting some stuff down, and I got a couple of visuals and everything, and it was interesting. A couple of things I got were pretty right on, and one of them was a letter. And I said to her, it's the name, something with to do with the name. It's a capital letter, and the letter I chose, I think it was S. Happened to be the first letter of her last name. And I picked up on some physical traits of her and everything like that, But it's not all the time that I do it, but... And then I just kind of jot down a few things. And sometimes I'm right on, sometimes I'm not. It's like I never claim to really, get the most accurate. I sometimes get vague information. Sometimes I get... Like I said, you were talking about that young boy, and the name Christopher just popped into my head. I don't know if that's... I have no idea if that has anything to do with him, but when I'm talking to a person... or I'm in a situation, something like that happens, I feel like I should just say it out loud because it could pertain to somebody in the room. And sometimes it doesn't. Right. That's kind of with my experience with this whole thing is I'm getting that message for a reason, so somebody might need to hear it.
Right.
So I don't know, like I said, maybe that little boy's name is Christopher, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I never knew that about you, and when you had reached out to me about the man with the white mustache, I was like, huh?
Bushy mustache, like a 70s type. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know who that is until I was like, oh yeah. And it was the anniversary of my uncle's death.
Yeah. Wow. We were messaging on Facebook or whatever, and we just, like I said, and
I didn't know anything about her special talents.
You have many.
You have many, yes.
Huh? Facets. Like that way. But no, not asses. Although I do have a few of those. A couple chins. But yeah, when you told me that, I just got this vision of like the real 70s, the big, and I'm like, I said, I don't know if this means anything, but what's with the mustache? Yeah, and it was interesting because then she told me that, I was like, oh, all right, that works.
Wow.
Yeah. There was a lady I used to work with 2 jobs ago. I went into her office to talk to her about a job and what the project we were working on, and then we started talking about the paranormal. I don't even know how it turned into that, but it just did. And she was telling me how her husband's mother had passed away before they got married and whatnot, and she said that she was told that the mother would have liked her. And as she's telling me this woman just kind of presented herself to me, and she was with a dog too, like a golden retriever or a lab type of a dog. So I'm sitting there and I'm not really letting her know that I see this person. So I'm sitting there talking, and I'm like, and then she was on. I said, "Who's Peggy?" And she just looked at me, and I said, "Well, Margaret, but who's Peggy?" And she literally, her mouth almost hit the floor. She started getting this as white. She says to me, she goes, "Why?" I go, "Well, who is that?" She goes, "It's my husband's mother." I said, "Oh, well, she agrees with you," because she looked at me. She's like, I said, "Well, she's smiling and she's nodding yes in agreement that she does like you, and that she's happy you married." And she was like, "Are you serious?" She started crying. I started. It wasn't even 9:00 yet. We're both bawling at work. I said, "That's not my intention. I wasn't trying to make you cry."
Jeez.
So you see them too. You don't just feel.
And
it depends.
That's new, and because like I said, I think things started to evolve for me as I got more comfortable with things. I sometimes will just get like a mental image. There've been a couple times I'll catch something out of the corner of my eye, which is usually what I think it is. So, and this woman, like I said, I told her what she kind of looked like a little bit and whatnot, and it happened in here. This was long before I turned this room into this nice place. You should have seen this place before it was this. Well, you saw it. It was just kind of, it was a mess, right? And
yeah, it wasn't like this. It wasn't a mess.
This took me a while to do, but
yeah, it did take you a while.
I was sitting here, and it was just a Saturday, just doing my thing, and someone walked right in, sat down on a chair, and I started writing down what he was telling me. He said his name was Finn, Finn, but I think it's short for Finnegan. He had the gray pinstripe. He was from, the 1920s, and I was just like... And then he, was just kind of all right, thanks for chilling, and he took and walked off, and it was weird. It was kind of weird.
So they don't even have to have an attachment to the house.
Sometimes they're just passing by.
And you have the same.
Gina,
that happens to you too.
Gina's killing me because I want you to just go deeper and deeper into this.
Yeah, more so.
I'm like, she's never coming back over.
Wow.
But yeah, no, not all the time. They just kind of.
I'm not scared. I'm normally scared. I'm not scared. You're scared?
I'm not scared. It's just freaky.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I don't know,
I'm not
your
freaked
body
out.
language and noises tell us otherwise.
Up until when my mom passed away, I was getting terrified by this stuff. But after that whole experience, I don't get scared by them anymore. I don't think I'm even visited by ones that are trying to be mean. They were in the past. I'm not mean, but just trying to scare me.
Yeah.
Why though? Why?
Well, probably because I didn't know to say stop it. I just got scared and hid.
Why
A lot of
do they
people
mean?
don't realize that, though. A lot of people don't
I know,
realize
I
that.
didn't
mean
realize
in
it.
real life too. Now people just suck. So I wonder,
No.
if you're shitty people that, shitty
Don't
people.
they just go to hell and then that's it? And they're stuck there?
According to our religion.
That's what I was brought
Sister
up.
Timothy said we go to purgatory if we were bad.
Don't know.
Okay, not to bring up grammar school, but Sister Julie,
Yeah.
she recently passed.
I thought she was 80 when we were in school.
That's
is
what
she
everybody
still
kept saying.
alive?
I'm like, wasn't she 100 when we
I
were
honestly
there?
think
was
that
80.
the path to long life is you
Being
get
a
to be a
sister?
nun.
You have to be a nun.
And then you get to be 80 for 80 years.
She was old.
But yeah, why would anybody want to do that on purpose? Actually, I'm just kidding. That's really not a bad thing. That is a very specific life path, and it takes a strong person to do that.
And they live forever
Yeah,
as an old person.
they're forever old.
You'll be old
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah. When I was in Italy, we went to see the nuns at Loceto. I think I'm saying it right. And every day at noontime, they came out they lived in solitude. They didn't in silence, very minimalized, full habit, all that, full blown how it was back in the day. And we went to listen to them sing, and one would come out one side, like it was like they floated. It was really weird, like, you know, they were just so graceful. And then one would start singing, and the other one would start singing, the other one would start, and they sounded like a group of angels. The most beautiful voices I think I'd ever heard in my life. I was like, wow, these women can really sing a beautiful song. But yeah, it's not an easy life.
No.
Being in that kind of that path. It's a tough one.
I won't be trying out too soon.
No. You don't want to be a nun?
Or a priest, even.
Well,
priest does the same thing. Or
Sister
monk, or whatever.
Sister Derek.
Sister Derek. Here she is.
Well, I had so many sisters that had man names.
Here she is.
Oh my God, you guys are killing me. You guys are killing me. So,
oh, Gina's giggle, like, it just does something to me. I just start laughing. It's so funny.
That's how my friend Jen was here a few weeks ago, and that's how we are when we were together. That's all we do. We laugh. Mm-hmm. My father used to make fun of me and my friends, and he would be like, "Oh, tee hee, I have 10 fingers too." We're like, "Dad, that's not funny," because all he'd hear us is giggling. Like we'd laugh at anything. Oh, look, I have fingers. You have fingers. You know, like because we're girls, we always giggle.
Does he come to you?
Oh yeah, Dad. Oh yeah.
He does.
And it was 12 years this year.
Right.
Yeah.
I knew it was 10. I was thinking 10.
Well, you remember, I mean, we were kids, but he had the heart attack, right?
Yeah.
So my father had a heart attack in 5th grade, when I was in 5th grade. And then he had bypasses, 6 bypasses. He had a pacemaker. He had a heart transplant.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It was insane.
That's a lot.
And the cancer.
That's a lot for, like, one human being to deal with. Like,
yeah. He dodged a lot of bullets, but when we found out he had cancer, like anything heart related, we could deal with. But when it got to that point, we were just like, "It's okay, Dad, let go."
Right.
Yeah. It was like we were there. We were all there. I was holding his hand, and it's just like you kind of like, listen, Mom's okay. We're all okay. You know, the body got tired, but yeah, he visits. Oh yeah, he actually prevented me from getting into a car accident once.
Ooh.
Not even kidding. I was coming home from a friend's house. This was like a long time ago, like probably well over 6. I don't even think I told you this. Over 6 years ago, I was living here, and I was at that big intersection over there. So I was coming off of 495 to go straight across to come home. And it was that year when we had all that snow. The snow was just like gigantic, right? The banks, you couldn't see anything, and I'm coming up. And the light's green, and I always slow down at an intersection when the light's green, just in case, because you have that one person that might go through a red light. Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's happened a few times where I've almost gotten, clipped or whatever. So I started to slow down, and I got up there, and the light was still green. So literally, as I'm going into the intersection to go across the street, a statey, who was apparently at the other side but couldn't see me coming, slams on his gas. He gets in front of me. I slammed on my brakes. I thought I hit him. He swerved so much he ended up going in the same direction as me on the way home. I pulled over. Do you want to know what he does? He turns around and he keeps going. Why? Because there was a witness that saw him do that.
Yeah.
There was a person on the opposite side of him that saw him cut through the red light and almost kill me.
Whoa.
Wow.
I called Mark. I was out with my ex at the time. I called him and I had to talk to. It was like I said, it was like right here, so it was like 2 minutes, And I was shaking. I said, just stay on the phone with me until I pull on my driveway. And I told him what happened. I said, I hit the cop. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I get out of the car. I'm like, I didn't hit the cop. What happened? And so I think it was my anti-lock brakes that made that weird noise when you slow down,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's what it was, because I don't think I had ever had to use them before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was shaking. I got into this house. I was in this house, and I started to cry my eyes out, because I was just like that close to hitting this guy. And my car would have been done. I would have been hurt. Mm-hmm. I mean, he would have been at fault, clearly, because, he cut through the light. And I turned around, and my dad was standing right in front of me, and he says, "Not tonight, honey," and he gave me a hug.
Goosebumps.
You felt them?
Goosebumps.
Yeah, I literally felt him. Like I mean, he may as well have been literally right in front. I could sense his entire energy in front of me, and he said, "Not tonight, honey." And like I felt him coming. I was like even now, like I want to like just cry because it was it was really, really.
It got bigger.
It was weird. It was weird, and I was just amazed that he like I said, I thought it was in an accident.
That's crazy. Can you like...
Wow.
So he just appears when it's needed, but can you like... Do you ever do like, Dad, like I need you to help me right now?
I feel him, yeah. If I just say, give me a little strength, I can feel him. He doesn't have to like come like you, because like it's kind of like, I sometimes I'm in tune with my friends. There are certain times when I'll like reach out to someone like, hey, I'm just thinking about you. How's everything going? My friend Cheryl, one time I texted her out of the blue. I was just doing something. I was like, this happened a couple times with her and another friend, and I was like, hey, you just popped into my head. I was just wondering how you doing? And they said, wow. And she had said, she goes, I'm not doing too well. I just got into a fight with so and so. She goes, I said, well, I felt like something was wrong. She goes, you felt that? And no, I was at work, and she was like in Andover. And sometimes I'll pick up on it, but it's just kind of like I pick up on certain things. That's the empath side of me.
Yeah.
And even with spirits, like if I just need a little something extra, I just, I reach out, and they do it for you too, and you.
That's what I think. Like that, like
everybody.
When I was scared out of my mind at that hotel last week, I really believe that the only reason I didn't die is because I was like, all right, I know you're here. Can you like help me out? And I was calling on my special people to like guard me because I couldn't even I couldn't function. I mean, I couldn't even pee. I mean, come on. I couldn't go to the bathroom because I was so afraid that when I looked in the mirror, there would be the man in the top hat there.
God, yeah. Like in the car.
Well, because that's what they said at the Wentworth by the Sea. Yeah. So basically there's a couple of wings that burnt down. The hotel's like hundreds of years old. 2 wings burnt down, and they always say that there is a man in a top hat, a woman in a big dress, and a child, a little boy, that roam the halls. And they're on the 4th floor, the 3rd floor, and the 2nd floor. There's 3 floors. And they're in specific rooms. And there's a family from New Jersey that had stayed at that hotel. And the family member said they had to literally turn the mirrors or take the mirrors off the wall because every time the man looked in the mirror, there would be a man with a top hat behind him. Like scaring they're not angry, but like just scared the crap out of them. And they have a ghost log book in the hotel. And so the waitress had made references to the ghosts, and the general manager came over and said, oh, did you see something? Because we have a ghost log book. We're like, no, we were just talking about ghosts in hotels in general. So me and my coworkers all had to go to bed that night, and of course, one's on the 4th floor, one's on the 3rd, and I'm on I can't remember the 2nd. But I was in the new wing, so I was okay. Right. But even though I was in the new wing, holy crap, like my heart was so loud that I'm like, someone's knocking on my door. I can't, like, dying. And it was just terrifying.
Don't they get bored just walking around? Walking around
the
hotel.
Are you kidding? I'd be laying on a beach in Hawaii.
Can you imagine being a ghost just walking around a hotel
for
eternity? What's up with that?
Like, why can't they just rest? Seriously. Could you imagine, like, you live your life. You live your long, long life. And then you're stuck. Like Sister Timothy said, purgatory. What the hell do they do that they're stuck there?
And I don't know. Everybody's story's different. But... it does make you wonder, though, sometimes if they are just restless souls. Actually, an old apartment I used to live in, I had a roommate, this girl, Christy. I haven't talked to her in years, but, we roommate not for very long. And we were living in Salem. And she knocked on my door, like, we were, in bed, whatever. And I said, yeah, what's going on? And she's like, something's not right. I feel a really weird energy. Can me and my son crash on your floor? Because the way I set up my room, it's kind of like when you said you come in here. Like everybody who comes down here just says, I love how, like it's just cozy, it's warm, you feel safe. Like she's like, your room is the only room I feel safe in right now because the way I set my room up. I'm like, yeah, of course. So her and her son slept on the floor. Like, she, like, dragged a mattress in and they just crashed on the floor. It was the weirdest thing, but she said something just does not feel right energy-wise out there. And she's like, I don't feel like I'm in danger, but I'm not comfortable.
Did you feel anything?
I didn't because I was in my room. I was shielded.
You didn't want to go out and check?
I didn't have to. I knew she wasn't. I mean, I figured it was something. I got picked up on it was just a pass by.
Yeah.
Someone who was just kind of checking out the place, but it was
Why?
just,
What? Like what?
why
Like,
not just, like I said, because some spirits, like we know, is like you said, some of them might have unfinished business, or some of them just feel like they're lost. Some don't go to feel like they're at rest. The other thing is too is when you pass away. Now, this is, like I said, I'm not the end all of knowledge on
you're
this
not the
topic,
spirit
but-
whisperer?
No, but I called myself the cat whisperer once. Nah, that's a funny story, but another time. That's a whole other episode.
It's a cat show.
It's a cat show. But no, it's a cute story though. No.
So the tangent coming on.
Yeah, I'm like,
There's another
it's almost like popcorn
Actually, I
shrimp.
really should focus on my notes right now because this one,
Your notes.
this one, because I have, like I said, you guys brought a bowl.
We brought all of our shit.
I said, bring one.
I almost brought a fruit bowl.
I didn't bring a lot.
No, I'm kidding. You
No.
did. You were
Okay.
very
Box.
concise.
He brought a box full.
Yep, part of box.
I almost brought
It's from one person, though, so-
an entire fruit bowl.
You told me it was 2 people.
Well, the one in the plastic bag is one
Oh.
person. The box is another.
Okay. A whole fruit bowl?
Yeah, I almost brought a whole fruit bowl. Not real fruit.
Just the bowl or
Just the
fruit
bowl?
in it?
It's a really cool wooden bowl, and it's carved, and every fruit in it is a carved piece of fruit, and they look real.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
It's
I
really
would've
cool,
loved
and
to
it's
just look at
old.
it.
And
Not eat it, just look
I don't
at
think
it.
so.
as a kid, I played with this fruit bowl my whole entire life. And when this person passed, I kind of happened to be in the house, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm taking the fruit bowl.
I want the fruit bowl.
Taking the fruit bowl." And I'm sure there's a lot of people that wanted the fruit
Taking
bowl,
the fruit bowl.
but I got it.
And
I used to
this
play with
one-
the banana, and I used to get in trouble as a kid. As a phone. As a phone.
Oh, good. My mind went a little elsewhere.
Where did it go, Gina?
Catholic schoolgirl. Sorry.
Oh, so the gutter? Catholic, yeah, St. Mary's. That's the high school I went to. That's how you and I met, Jen.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny. I've known all you guys for, well, obviously all my life with you, Derek, but
Pretty much, yeah.
40 plus years. It's disgusting. It's cool,
not that
though.
old.
Like the,
We're almost 30.
yeah.
We have to plan it.
I know.
We have to plan it
A lot
again.
of things to
Plan
do.
what again?
Reunion.
Reunion. We planned the first one that we did.
I didn't go to that one.
I know. You know what? You missed a good
Why
time.
didn't you go?
I don't know. I think I actually.
I feel like I thought you were there. No? I guess.
I was.
No.
I was at the grammar school one.
No. That doesn't matter. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Anything before
High school
before
one
high
was
school
fun.
doesn't matter.
That was a lot of fun. We did good.
Yeah, it was great. We did a great
But I think
job.
the funniest thing is
My brother
when I-
DJ'd.
Wait, what?
My brother
It was the
DJ'd.
best music ever. He played everything from 1991.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
it was like our year.
No, I don't think you know her brother. I was gonna say no, you don't.
And we gave him a tip jar. He didn't
Yep.
charge, so we had a tip jar for him. It was fun.
I think I threw like 20 in there or something. People
Yeah.
were throwing like big bucks in there.
Yeah, he made some money. He's like, I wasn't even expecting $1. He goes, the tip jar was kind of like a joke. He's like, oh, I'll put a tip jar just like back in high school. And he made some good money that way. He's older than me, too. What is he now? How old am I? He's 48, 49, 48,
Yeah.
49. I have no idea.
I'm 46.
Whatever age
older
Mike
than
is.
I'm older than all you guys. My birthday's in September.
Oh, you're one of the
Older
old
me.
people.
No, you're the oldest one.
got you.
Finally, I'm
You're the
up to
old
this one.
person in the
Yeah.
grade.
I was, and you want to know why? I stayed back. I used to tease people this because I didn't learn my
What
alphabet.
year did you
but
stay
that-
back in?
I'm first year. So I was there, but before you guys came, and they kept me back because I was still. My
That's-
birthday's in September.
That's a
But I went
perfect
to
time.
elementary school with you.
yeah.
She
I
did,
started
she did kindergarten twice.
no.
Oh,
first
kindergarten.
grade. No,
Oh,
first
I thought you said freshman year.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, wait, I was in
grade. No, I
she did.
started to say freshman. I corrected myself.
Oh,
Let me
okay.
go.
As my dad says, he goes, third grade, best 3 years of my life.
We bonded over Bart Simpson. Bart Simpson came out.
Oh my
remember?
God.
Wait, what?
The Simpsons came out. That's when we bonded over because we used
We
to make
did?
fun. Yes, you don't remember freshman year?
What did I?
Of
Did
high
we
school?
Of high school,
Sorry,
we
I know we
bonded
completely
over.
deviated from spiritual. This is
I
okay.
know.
Because this is what happens with the show.
Popcorn
It's like
shrimp.
you just eat, you know.
Popcorn shrimp.
Yeah, I do.
Popcorn shrimp. Butterfly. What was it
Bart
that I used to
Bart
do?
Simpson. You used to do his voice. And you used to make me laugh all the time, and I would get in trouble because I would laugh really loud like I do now, and I would get in trouble, and I'd be like, well, she made me laugh. You did Bart Simpson's voice, and I don't remember what it was.
That's who it was I was doing, but I'm
Yes.
trying to remember what I used to say.
Yes. I can't remember it right now, but yeah. And I would laugh out loud, and I would get in trouble because I would laugh loudly.
We had
gonna
the
have
best
to-
class ever.
I don't remember.
Really
I
did.
don't remember being Bart
Like I watched a
Simpson.
tennis match. Like,
You used to do something with it.
I know.
I don't remember
It's
what
kinda
it was.
funny.
I used to-
Anyway,
Anyway.
I'm gonna dig. I'm gonna meditate. I'm gonna let this marinate and meditate on it and
Do
see
it.
if I can figure out what the
Okay.
hell it was. I'm always trying to make people laugh, and that hasn't changed. That
Same
hasn't
here.
Changed. Hasn't changed at all.
And you're just
Me
funny.
too.
Like,
I
you
know.
laugh and people laugh with you.
I like to have people laugh.
Yeah, it
Laughing
works.
is good.
And then you have Derek, who's just nothing but a bore.
Oh, no, no.
I love you.
so.
I can't stay awake. I am
Oh,
so
he's falling
tired.
asleep.
Well,
You better read his stuff
I'll be
first.
this
Come
morning.
on,
I'm just so
Grandpa.
tired.
Oh, yeah, let me
Grandpa,
do that.
my bedtime was
Actually-
like 2.5 hours ago.
You guys are funny.
I am.
Like,
Sorry, I
know.
mean,
it's like the
Usually I'm not
night's
this tired on
time.
Friday,
I'm
but man,
I'm always this tired on a
have to work
Friday.
tomorrow?
No.
Oh, I do. Oh.
well, nobody can leave before 11.
I'm okay. I never have fun like
I'll be
this.
sleeping, but I'll be here.
That's all right.
Poor April doesn't realize that she's walking us to all of our cars.
Yeah.
And she's checking the back seat.
Am I?
yeah.
Am I driving you guys home?
Putting it on Bluetooth.
We'll
calling you.
see. Yeah, absolutely.
No. Well, don't say how. What's the commute time? Don't say where you live. Obviously.
I live at no. Commute time. Well, actually, if I go 495, it's only like 12 minutes probably.
Oh,
But if you
Not
go the
that
back
bad.
roads, you and I could drive
Which I,
behind
if it's
each
raining,
other.
I'm gonna go back roads.
Same with me. I'm
It's
gonna
raining.
go.
Oh boy.
Is it? And it's supposed to be like windy. So
Like,
if it's-
I don't know if you guys noticed, but when I took the highway to come here, even though I'm kind of back roads, and they put salt on the roads.
right. I saw the
was like,
white salt too on June 13th.
did?
I'm like,
Yeah,
Salt in the
it was
road.
40. That made me look at the temperature. It's
yeah,
only 44.
I know, that's what I
So
said.
I
I
was
was the
like,
same thing. I'm like, oh my god,
Maybe they're expecting it to drop. I don't know.
I don't like that. I'm not ready for it. I don't wear coats.
Haven't
You don't?
There you go.
I haven't looked.
No, that little like weird
I'm doing
raincoat
doing
thing
our things
I bought for a concert.
Well, next Derek, so that if you need to leave and bail.
supposed to get rained out in.
Yeah.
Leopard.
Are you
I
coming?
bought it
tomorrow?
that day, and I have rain boots.
Yeah,
Okay.
at some point.
I bought
As
those
usual.
because
Well, we'll talk
Those
about that.
Hunter.
'cause-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I bought a giant Louis Vuitton shopping bag
Okay.
at the LXR store at Lord and Taylor.
I'm not getting a lot from these.
And I got
but
$350. I think I told you.
worth.
$350
But the other one was
gift certificates from Lord and Taylor to spend. I bought those.
That's
I bought
something
a
that
pair of
is from that
suede
same
Nikes, like
person.
really cool, like retro
But I-
suede
I
Nikes.
think
I
it
bought
was
really cool
useful.
high, like
From
two or
the
three
things
pairs of
that
high
was-
heels. I bought 6 pairs of shoes. And I got
Oh, this is a
those.
different feeling.
Really?
Yeah.
Completely opposite of what the other
Mine
two
are too.
I can't wear.
The
What
two
size are
have
you?
Their own conversation over there.
8.5, 9.
I'm an 8.5. Try them on.
Feet size?
I have
I'm
giant
size
calves.
Sasquatch. Derek, what about you?
I am too.
I used to be a size 7 until I had kids. Now I'm an 8.5.
Right. I had
Please.
kids.
I'm double digits.
8.5, 9.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
do you know
you're
what it's
tall.
like? Do you know what it's like to
I'm
have?
only 5'6".
Do you
I
have
grew
to
an
have
inch in my
like
20s.
really cute shoes?
No,
and
I
a
don't
7
know
and a
what that's
half,
like.
and then like grow like an entire size foot.
I don't know what that's like.
You take after my dad. Thanks, Dad. I got the big feet.
I shrunk. I used to be 5. I was 5'5" my whole life, from 5th grade to on, and then when I had kids, now I'm 5'4" and a quarter. That's what the
Oh,
doctor
you was the
said.
opposite direction. I was 5'5", and in my 20s, I grew an inch, and I'm 5'6".
That's awesome.
No, it's not.
That's really good.
I mean, the 5'6" isn't so bad, I guess, but then I went out and
Yeah, it's happening
Derek's
to all
like, oh
of
my
us.
okay.
She's writing vigorously.
She must have wrote down the words. She was my favorite. That's a big joke with me.
That you're my favorite. What?
No, that most people that have died in my family, I'm always like, oh, they love me. I was their favorite.
Oh.
And it's like just a giant joke, and my family's like, yeah, you were definitely their favorite. Like, no, it was me. Like, it's always a big joke in our family. Like, the people that have died have always made you feel so special that everybody thought that they were the favorite.
I definitely was.
That's it. Excuse me.
It was. No doubt.
All the other people were fakes.
No doubt.
Oh my god, my drink is so loud. I'm so
Right?
sorry.
That's okay. It translates well on the microphone. I like the little clinkies.
It's like bird chimes.
All right. I have just a couple more items to hold. And then I can go into what I've been doing. I'm obviously trying to keep the conversation going and try to focus at the same time, so I've never actually done it quite like this before, so I could be way off.
I was
on
actually
everything.
curious to see, like, do you need me to fill in some gaps with some
No.
fun banter?
Oh, yeah, we could do some fun banter, but is it Spirit Realm?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's do it. Tell me something. Give me something good. All right,
I'm
took too
very
long, Derek. No, I'm kidding.
Well, Derek has good stories.
Yeah. Let's go to Derek.
All right. I got good story.
That was awake.
How about your first time that you ever experienced
I was just going to say, first timers here. Let's get that.
I was a young.
Young lad.
I don't even know how old
He was a
I
young lad.
I was probably under 10 years old.
You were a young lad.
Yeah.
She's right on.
Yeah. See?
You have ESPN.
Yes.
Yeah, it was the house we used to live at in Boxford Street. And I remember one night we had like a sleepover. And there was a ball in the room.
Oh,
And
not the ball.
It's not about myself.
no, it's
I
just.
already don't like clowns.
I
Don't
was-
do the ball.
Gina's so afraid right now.
I was like half asleep. Look at her, she's gonna burst.
She really.
I like balls.
It was only one though.
You're right.
It wasn't two, it was one.
Oh, okay.
Did you just say you like balls?
I do.
Because
But
I
you said it was
mean,
only one, so
It's only one.
okay.
just one ball.
Yeah,
Red ball.
Just one ball.
Why?
And it just started rolling back
Oh,
and forth
it
by
rolled.
itself.
Just the one ball.
The one ball. One ball. Rolling back and forth.
Was it red?
So someone was playing with
And every time, I mean, I had my eyes closed.
realized what you said.
No, red came to my head. That's what.
And every time I got up to look at it, it stopped. I was like, what the?
You were
That's-
dreaming?
that's-
Wait, were you
it was
dreaming?
scary.
Were you,
So
were you
you were
sleeping?
scared.
I thought I was dreaming, but then I would get up and the ball would stop rolling as I looked at it.
Dear Lord.
Did you wake up any one of your friends and say, "Hey, you seen this too"?
No. I was just like, no, I just didn't wake up. I just didn't do it. I don't know why. I just didn't wake them up. There was three of us sleeping there. I'll never forget it. And then I think the next day someone did say, but who's rolling that ball around? They're keeping me up. So apparently when I was sleeping and not hearing it, someone else was hearing it too. But that house had all kinds of weird stuff. Really,
And that was your
really.
home
This was another one, yeah.
in this town.
In Lawrence.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there was, and I lived in Switzerland for a while, and they
How
used
many
to
years
hear
did you live in
footsteps.
Switzerland?
15.
I know.
You used to hear footsteps walking around in the attic. And when I went up there was no one there. I mean, there was no one in the whole house, and I would hear all kinds of like footsteps walking around the place. I'm like, what? And it scared me, but it didn't really at the same time. But
That says something about your character. The fact that you, like, for me, I honestly believe like I would like have to leave the building immediately.
When I was a child, when I was much younger, I mean, I used to see different things and hear different things, and I was terrified most of the time. I had my head under the covers most of the time.
That happened to me
until
as
I
a
got
kid.
older after, like I said, after my mom passed away, that stuff didn't really scare me anymore.
When I was little, and again, it was probably nothing. It was probably like a figment of my imagination.
Probably
I remember.
Probably not.
Yeah, so like I wonder, in the house that I grew up in, my bedroom doorway was literally 3 steps from my mom's.
Yeah.
And I used to get scared a lot, or I had to pee in the middle of the night, whatever it was. And I remember looking to the left of me, and I remember seeing something standing there and feeling like I had to jump between my room and her room to get in there, my parents'
Tall?
room. Yeah, just to the left. It was just
No,
big.
but was this person
Was it tall?
Yeah, it was like, I was little. I was a witch to me. It was a witch. That's
Was it
how
black? Was it dark?
Yeah, it was. And I jumped,
Yeah.
and I told my mom, and I'm like, there was a witch in the hallway. And she's like, go back to your room. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go back to my room. I'm scared. And I had to go back to my room. And I remember covers over my head, and I was young enough to say prayers at that point.
Right.
And I would, but even as I grew up and lived in that house, I felt comfortable there, like growing up. But if I had to go to the bathroom, I had to walk past that. We had a small house.
Yeah.
And I remember I would shut my eyes and then, like, go. Like, I never saw it again.
But I know exactly the same kind of thing. And I walk by a place, I close my eyes and do this and get by it. Then I go to the bathroom and run back. Seriously. I know exactly what you... Yeah.
I used to not breathe driving by the cemetery where I left, because my street was here and the cemetery was right behind us. And we used to drive downhill, and I'd hold my breath every time. I don't know why. It was just a weird thing that I did as a kid. Like, always was like...
Because they're all holding their breath, too.
Huh? Yeah, I'm like, I looked up just for a second there, and Jen's going to hit me. I'm like, is she okay? Now, when you said, if you don't mind me going back to when you say that she was a witch, was she dressed up as a witch, or did you feel like somebody as if they were dressed up as a witch? Is that what it looked like? I think
so. I think it was black.
Like a costume type of thing, or did it?
I feel like it might have been a costume type of thing, but...
Oh, okay.
That's what I feel, but I mean, I was young. Like,
yeah.
All black.
When you did you feel like a negative energy? Did you feel...
I was a kid. I was just scared shitless.
Okay.
I was just scared. Like, I don't remember...
Well, kids are also a lot more susceptible to that kind of thing because they're...
Yeah, we always say Emily sees something. Well, it's not like soft. We always say it's a family member, but when she was little, a baby, we'd like holding her, and she would like swivel her neck and look into the corner and smile all the time. And I was fine with it. I was like, oh, she sees this person. And Wayne's like, oh, probably. You know, it would make sense. And Wayne's mom came over one day, and I'm like, no, she had to babysit her. And I'm like, hey, just, see what she does when you bring her to bed. And she, sure enough, did the same thing. And she's like, oh, my God, Jen, she did that thing. She looked in the corner and was, like, smiling and happy. And I'm like, oh, yeah, she's being watched over. And it was, like I always say, like, I have safe land. I'm okay. But I'm okay if it's, like, a loved one that's protecting us. But then again, when you just, like, I almost wonder, do you make yourself believe things to make yourself feel better?
Right.
Yeah, well, your mind can play a lot of nasty tricks on you.
And that's okay. Like, my mind can play as many tricks on me as it wants to if it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Even if it's not real.
Well, I mean, one
better.
of the things that I always try to do, too, is, like I said, you try to be as calm as you can. Try to be... like you said, when you work up, you work it up in your head that something's a certain way. Try not, and it's not easy because it's like you don't want to work yourself up over a situation because then you kind of get a false reading because your mind has a certain mindset towards something, and then and you might get the completely wrong interpretation of what you're actually experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to figure out something. It's funny, like you said, the person that was just standing in the hallway. That happens to me at my friend's house when I house sit. There's a man that's always there, but he's watching over the house. And he always stands at the end of the hall before my friend's bedroom. Like, their bedroom is here and the bathroom's here. And I always feel him in the house, especially when I'm housing. Now, the house, I usually have most of the lights off. I have a couple, like maybe a lamp or two on. And then... when I go to the bathroom, because it's always dark in the hallway. So, you think that I'd be nervous. Now, first I was a little nervous, but I realized that what he was doing there, he was like, I'm just watching over things. So I always had him. I acknowledge him, like, hey, how's it going? Because he obviously doesn't go to the bathroom, because that's where I'm going. But it's just, he's just kind of hanging out, watching over. I don't know if he's associated with the land or the house. I never really asked questions, but, it's like a guy in his 60s.
Yeah.
He's just kind of watching over things. But you said that one's an interesting one. You said it's clear as day, all in black, but you didn't feel any negative.
I don't know that. I was scared. I was terrified.
Yeah. Well,
so
you would have
to
felt
me,
that too.
Terrified would be negative, but then again, when you see something when you're a little kid that scares you, it's always negative, right?
Yeah, but I think because the fear kind of coats the whole everything of it. But I think if she was really out to do any kind of or cause any issues, you would have seen her again.
Yeah.
You said you never saw her again after that.
I'll never forget it. It's like ingrained in my brain.
Yeah.
For the rest of my life.
And sometimes they don't even mean to do that. They don't even mean to scare you. It just happens. I mean, because it's still kind of the unknown at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like sitting here talking to you guys and it's 3D.
Right.
I mean, I was at the TV station a few weeks ago and I was just sitting there, you know, before the show had started. And it's like the once a month I'll get McDonald's. You know,
oh, it's so good.
It's like I go there and I'm like, I'm always starving by the time I get there and I'm like, I get my little small, I get a small fry, like the dollar menu. I get like a dollar cheeseburger, small fry, and a Coke. Sometimes 2 small fries. But
Get a large.
well, you actually get more with the small.
Big Mac.
For some reason, they actually fill the small fries more than they actually fill the large fries. So, and it's like half the money. Not even kidding. Listen, I'm.
How could that physically possible? It's a small
well,
bag.
it is physically possible. I have 12 chins to prove it.
Let
I went from 3 to 12 all in an hour.
When they do the kids, they always put extra in the bag. So like you'll have a small little kitty fry, but then there's like 15 fries in the bottom.
they literally.
We digress. the fries on the bottom of the bag are the best fries out of the whole entire thing.
Bonus fries.
Here
you go, kids.
There's more in here.
Here, kids, here's your little bag.
Oh, I don't tell them.
fries for me. At the bottom
So
of the bag.
funny. Yeah, those are my fries too. That's so funny.
Went from that to McDonald's.
We go
but
from
no,
that to fries.
So I would, but no, there's a reason. So I was eating the fries at the TV station. I'm sitting there just eating, and I literally caught somebody walking down the, because that place has a few things going on. I actually planned on sleeping there one night with me and another friend and a couple of people that work there. Like,
Where? I just missed this. I don't know where it
At the TV
was.
station.
The TV
Oh, okay.
In the
Oh,
TV
I've been
station,
there.
Yeah, the MC, doing community television. I can say that, I think.
What can be there? Like, that building's not that old.
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's associated with the building.
Ugh, I don't like that. Don't say those things to me.
Sorry.
How about the radio station?
Oh my God! When I worked at the River, forget it. That place was that place was great.
Yeah.
I love that place. When I was interning there, on different times when I met someone, they were like, "Oh, you been here alone yet?" I'm like, "No, but I can't wait." And they look at me. I'm like, "Why?" They said, "You really want to?" I said, "Yeah, I keep hearing about all these stories." That place was so active.
Really?
Yeah, that place was great. That place was. You were there once or twice?
I was there twice, yeah, but I didn't see anything. I didn't sense anything either when I was there.
No, I always sensed something there. I was never alone in that place. But it's an old building, a lot of musicians, a lot of things happened in that building. So it was just kind of one of those.
Right.
Where is it?
When I used to work at the River.
Where's the building?
In Haverhill.
Okay.
Yeah. A very interesting building. It was a cool one too. I liked that one a lot. Sorry, I'm still working.
It's okay.
It's not as easy doing this while you're talking.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not.
I can
It's
solve
actually
it,
fun
it's
watching
not.
you, like, write,
we're watching
because you imagine in your mind, what is she writing about that particular thing?
No, well, I'm trying. Like I said, I've never done this without actually just really focusing on. So I'm probably wrong on every account. So I'm just letting you know. Everything seems to be coming out is vague, but that's because I'm not doing this the way I normally do. But normally, I
Well,
would
you
say,
do what you do, because
should
I have a
take a
question.
break to
Derek,
do
do you have
that.
siblings?
What?
Do you have siblings?
No.
But I can't not
She-
talk. That's like asking me not to breathe.
I know.
She's telling you to focus so she can talk.
You
to
look
it.
so comfortable right now. You're like,
She's like-
Gina's over there.
she's
She's
like
like,
that.
dude, listen, just chill. Do what she's like, April,
The
just
wine
do what
did
you
its
do.
job.
We're going to talk to Derek. You just focus on the writing. 360. Absolutely perfect. You're like, I got you, girl. April, just write. Shut up and write.
So no siblings, so it's not like... What do you think about... are you okay with me asking these questions? Just because I'm curious. I'm like...
Friends are nosy, by the way.
I am so curious. I'm like my 9-year-old daughter.
I'm not.
So you had said that like a lot of stuff has happened since your mom passed. Mm-hmm. And it seems like when prior to your mom passing, it was more like scary, negative. But now that your mom has passed, you're kind of open and accepting.
Yeah.
Really great horror.
Why? Does she make you feel comfortable with it?
I don't think it's her at all.
Or is it you? You've just been like...
I think I was so terrified after she passed away that I can't get any more scared than I was then, even though it was her.
Uh-huh.
It was that strong because I was living in Switzerland that time, and I remember the night that I didn't know she had passed away yet. I was laying in bed, and it was windy. Some wind hit the window, and it got really loud. I was like, "Oh, that's a weird sound." I remember feeling something like my hair stood on end in the room. So I was renting a room at the time. Mm-hmm. And as an adult, I was so scared that I put my covers on my head. And I knew something was right there. And I was like, what is that? What is that right now? I didn't want to get up. I didn't want to put the light on. I could have just done that, but it was that much. So the next morning, I did fall asleep eventually and went for a run and came back, did some things, and I found my mom had passed away around that time. She's probably just coming around. Mm-hmm. You know, probably she was bothered or hurt that I was scared.
Yeah.
But it was such a powerful energy that it wasn't that I was afraid of the end. It was afraid of what I couldn't see.
Yeah.
Couldn't see it. And it was like,
that's
you know
a big
it's
part
there.
of it. That's a big part of it, because when you can't see what's happening, that's where a lot of the fear comes. It's like people afraid of the dark. If you can't see what's in front of you, how am I supposed to feel all warm and fuzzy inside? Like, really?
No, that was
Sorry,
tough.
I completely just chimed in. I'm going back to my
See,
right
I've never felt
back
anything like that before. Have you ever felt anything like that before? Like, you know something's there, but...
No.
Yeah.
I just
And
don't
that's why I think
scared of
some, like a
everything,
lot of... Well, that's me too. Like,
scared of everything.
I think that a lot of what I feel is bullshit factor. Like, I'll drive by a house, I'm like, oh, house
You
is
and your
haunted.
swears, Jen. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally
know.
kidding. It's
I'm
fine.
like-
FCC just knocked on the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna get fired now.
It's all right.
Yeah, fired from her own place.
So...
I know, fired from my own podcast.
But like I always say that, like, we'll drive by a place and like, oh, that place is haunted. Or a good friend of mine lived in a cabin in North Reading, and I would not go to the bathroom by myself.
Really?
No, I was friggin' scared. Like, come pee with me. I'm scared. I won't go there, because the minute I walked up those stairs, and I think I really truly believe that it was probably BS, and I was just creating, I don't know, drama for myself. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe I wasn't, and maybe it's one of those things where it's like I'm so afraid of seeing something that I don't know, like I'm a big giant wimp. Are you like that too? Like, you're afraid?
I'm afraid of everything. So, yeah, I'm afraid of absolutely everything. So, maybe you're more sensitive to it because you do have what maybe April has.
You make it sound like it's a bad thing.
No, but she's so scared that she, like,
affliction.
covers it.
I don't know what you guys
You guys have it. You guys have it.
That's what I wonder. Like, that's what I wonder. Like, do I have gifts that I don't want to see?
Right, maybe you have the gifts that you don't want to acknowledge.
But this is a thing. I hate to break it to you. Everybody has the gift.
You have to be open to it.
It's exactly. It's how open you are to it. Your fear level, like you said, you're afraid of everything. You're going to be more apt to not be
right.
looked at. Whereas, I'm like it.
Yeah, beacon.
Fireworks.
Yeah.
Like, there she is.
Yeah. Good. I like that. Yeah.
I'm like, look at
Right on. To my new friends. Go see April. She's over there.
Go to April's house.
Go to that one. She's down the street.
But some of them sometimes feed on your fear. Like,
Yes.
they know you're scared, so I'm going to
Derek.
I'm
Really?
going to scare you more.
Really, right now?
Sort of like a
Well,
like a
people
dog
that
that
do
you're
that.
afraid of.
Yes.
And a dog can drive.
Yes.
Sort of. Unless you stand up to the dog, they're going to walk all over you.
You have
I'm
to.
raising
That's
my
why I
hands.
think I'm not afraid anymore.
You have to, and that's
Okay.
the thing. You have to be okay with when you were saying how you feel it. Look, they feed on not that they're trying to make you scared, but they know.
Right.
And you have to because there are people that are bullies.
Yeah, they
They're
might be a
probably
bully.
bullies in the afterlife.
Exactly.
They could be a bully too. So you have to just be like, listen, you know what? If you, what I always say, if you're not here for my highest good,
Yeah.
you're out. End of story. That's why it's very rare when I run into someone or an energy that makes me uncomfortable. It happened to me once. I think I mentioned it here last Saturday. I came home this was like years ago. I still have my kitty. My little 8-pound cat, who I swear to God thought she was an 18-wheeler between me and this situation. Like, I never seen her stand guard before. So I came home, and it was my mom's grandfather. She said, right, that sometimes when he was alive, he would walk around to make sure all the house was okay. This house.
Right.
And he still does once in a while. Sometimes I'll come home and I can sense him just checking the grounds, making sure the house is secure. Very protective. No, very protective. Just they're watching over things. And this one night I came home and I noticed he was around, but he was around not just watching over, but he didn't like what was going on. I'm like, I sense it too. So I got in the house right away because I just felt weird. I got in the house and I went into my room, and my little 8-pound kitty cat stood on the bed and faced my bed, because the second I walked into the house and in my room, I felt something that shouldn't have been here. And I didn't like how I felt. And I looked at my cat, and I'm saying to myself, okay, what is she going to do? She's adorable. She's a cutie pie. She stood in front of me, and she was like, not with the, when they get mad, that tail comes out. It wasn't even like that. It was a weird stance. She had this really weird stance, but she was standing at guard, and I said, what do you sense? I told her, so what do you sense, Neva? I said, you feel it too? And I basically said, whoever you are, or you're not welcome here. You're not here for any good reason at all. You need to get out and never come back. The second I said that, was gone. Never came back. Never felt it again. But it was the cutest thing. This little kitty cat would have probably just was standing between. It's like, because animals sense that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Cats
animals sense storms.
do.
Cats definitely do.
I was looking up at the ceiling.
Oh, yes, I
A lot
hate
of the
that.
times they're like really looking at something. I'm like, well, what are you looking at?
I love, like my cat will run across the room like someone swaddled in the butt. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you doing that?
Yeah. Or they're looking at something and you see them. I'm like, yo, no. Like,
Okay, so I'm going to just read out. Do you guys mind if I read out what I got? I won't speak about what you brought. I'll just read what I got from it. So what I was doing was this thing called psychometry, and I held some items that you guys brought. Ginny, you brought 2 lovely items. And like I said, I've never actually done this
Second
while
option. You brought 2 lovely
talking
items.
about stuff. So it was a little harder to focus, but I just jotted down what came to me, how I felt. So I got someone who's on the shorter side with gray curly hair. Like grandmother gray curly hair. She had glasses. She's very playful. Super, super, very protective. Now, something about water. I don't know if this means anything, or if they had a house at the ocean, or live near the ocean, or love the ocean. Something about swimming. This person literally was a giant ball of love for you guys. And it was obviously a lady. That's pretty much all I got right now, but I didn't get anything bad or anything. Did any of that resonate?
the lady and ball of love.
The ball of love. None of the descriptions ring a bell. Okay, because it's interesting because, like I said, and this is my thing. Sometimes when I pick up things, it's not always exactly, because like I said, I watch some of the psychic shows. Mm-hmm. Not all the time, but like I used to watch what's the one, the blonde lady.
Long Island
The big hair.
Yes.
The Long Island, yeah.
Some of the stuff I watch, and then the young kid that does.
I love him.
What's his
Tyler?
name? Tyler, yes.
I love him.
I like,
he
they're
sweats.
like right.
He sweats when they come to him.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
They're like right on.
Yeah.
Like some of that, like I'm not usually that dead on with detail. Like they just get some meat, and I'm like this. Like I pick up on stuff. A lot of my stuff gets vague and everything. Now, like I said, I wasn't sure if I was getting anything that related to resonated with you. But was this person was she short?
Yeah.
Little, tiny, like kind of like a feisty. Like a go-getter.
Yeah.
I think I felt epic with this one. Epically?
No.
Is that even a word?
Epically?
No.
Epically.
I think it's a nice word.
Yeah.
It is a nice word.
I like it.
I'm going to put it in Merriam-Webster dictionary.
Use it.
Cute.
Use it. Do it.
So those are the things that I got from these. Not too much. Apparently I didn't pick up on.
It's okay.
Like I said,
Well, because you were talking and trying to do a bunch of
I don't
other
know.
things at the
I
same
don't know,
time.
but
Not easy.
It's not. I had a reading. I went to a psychic fair recently, and this woman picked out a couple things that were like, I didn't tell her anything.
Well, I think even just the thought that you could touch something and feel something again is a gift.
Like I said, I don't always get everything. Sometimes, like I said, that wasn't really close to anything with these, but that's what I picked up when I... Now, did these get passed on by chance? Mm-hmm. So, more than one person's owned these, correct?
No.
Oh, so they haven't been passed on.
Well, to me. One person had them.
Okay, one person, so the... Okay.
And now
All right.
I have them.
I wasn't sure if it was like a...
Oh, no. No, it was passed on to me.
All right. So I don't know if you want to keep this or not. I feel like it was an epic fail.
No. I don't think
Epic
so.
fail. And I'm going to air this online so no one's going to know what a lame...
You can edit that part out.
Yeah.
No, I don't care.
Just kidding.
I'm going to play
matter.
like sound effects over that. I'm going to play sound effects with that whole section.
Like put static sound in, like, and then you.
Technical difficulties.
There she is.
There
Yep.
she is.
Well, that'd be that woman's voice talking instead of her.
That would be nice.
Oh, my God.
I love when you do that. It spikes up like that. Oh, I wish I had the effects on that time. I should just put them on. No, I won't. No, too much.
Did you write a separate piece of paper for each thing?
Yeah,
I was just curious.
yeah. They're just chicken scratch notes. I don't even know how you guys are going to read any of this after. So, like I said, I'm probably going to be way off on this one too. Maybe I had them switched. I'm not sure. So, I was holding this first, and I kept getting true love. Someone under the age of 20. Did you? What?
I don't know, actually.
Someone who was struggling to stay happy.
Okay.
Felt like they were always looking for something. This is odd, and I don't even know if this really has anything to do with this, because it doesn't seem like it would go with this, but I kept getting suspenders.
Yep. That's valid.
Okay. And dark hair.
Yep.
Almost black, but I'm not quite sure. I just know it was dark.
Yep.
That's what I got with this.
Okay.
Now, when you first handed me this, like, I almost couldn't even hold this in my left hand, because I just felt I was chills, and it was just, like I said, it has a lot of very strong energy with this one. I also felt some sadness, but not like the bad kind of sadness. I think towards the end,
Yep.
it was a little sad.
Yeah.
I also felt someone who was conservative, very ladylike. Not prim and proper, but just, who knew how to act, a certain way. I kept getting a blue sweater. I don't know if it was turquoise teal, but that color, it was a sweater. I'm not even completely sure about the style. I just blue sweater was what was.
Interesting.
I was thinking, keep hitting the microphone. There's gonna be a lot of thumps in this show today.
You're Italian. That's what happened.
Freckles, like not a lot, just some. This one was a weird one. Something with the lungs. Almost like a lung issue.
Sorry, I'm not crying. My eye is itchy.
What's that?
I said I'm not crying. My eye is itchy.
I thought it was big.
No, keep going.
No, that's kind of what I got. Like, I didn't get a whole lot tonight. That's the thing. I just started on what I got. But so you said the suspenders were valid with this?
Yes, absolutely. My grandfather's suspenders. He wore suspenders.
Interesting.
So
was this his?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I wonder whose it was before him, because when you said someone under 20, I should ask my mom about this.
Yeah, I almost get that it could have been more than one owner, but suspenders was strong. It was an odd one because I was like, oh, okay, well, that's...
My mom had a brother who drowned at 16. So I wonder if it was his beforehand. So when he died, no one gave that to me. I took it.
Because if you look at the notes, they almost indicate two different people. Suspenders, you don't know a lot of young people that wear suspenders. That was back in the day. But I did get, like I said, someone under 20. I'm not sure about the struggling to stay happy, or it was...
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Not sure about that one, or they weren't happy for very long or something. I'm not sure, but...
Yeah, that part doesn't resonate with...
What about
with the
this?
suspenders? It's my aunt.
That your aunt? Mm-hmm. Everything I like.
She's a Spitfire. She was the life of the party.
Yeah.
When you said blue sweater, the only thing I could think of is I have a picture that I love of the two of us, but I'm wearing the bright blue sweater.
Right. Not necessarily she's wearing it. I just kept getting blue sweater.
Yeah, and it's my favorite picture. Like, I don't have pictures of us two. Okay. My favorite picture of us is me in my blue sweater and her. So I wonder if she's wearing that scarf too. Now that I think of it, I have to look back at the picture. When you said lungs, I'm not too sure, because she had breast cancer cells in her abdomen. Not like traditional.
That's odd.
Yeah.
She didn't smoke or anything, so...
No. But life of the party, when you said ladylike, I'm like, no. And she'd probably die laughing. She had a joke about, have you ever seen my tattoo? And she's like, I have a little tattoo right here of a mouse.
Oh,
You know that tattoo?
Yeah.
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 What?
And you don't know the tattoo?
You don't know the tattoo joke?
She's the best.
No.
She's
Yeah.
the, like, so
ever hear this?
one of
This is
13
funny.
siblings. You know this joke?
No.
This is
This is like the life of the
joke.
party. This aunt was the life of the party wherever she went. She was just gorgeous. Everything about her was amazing. So she was like, "Oh my God, you have a tattoo? I have a tattoo too." She's like, "I have a little mouse." And we'd be at a wedding. Everybody's all prim and proper. She's like, "I got a little mouse right here." And like, come and see it. Come and see it. And people are like, "I got a little mouse. I got a little mouse right here."
You already know, Derek,
people
right?
would be like down there. And she's like,
Yeah, of
"Oh,
course.
the pussy must have eaten it." So prim and proper.
Okay.
That probably is that was probably her sarcasm coming through. Because
Yeah. But she was definitely a stickler for do the right thing.
Okay.
We had an experience right when I got engaged. We used to have this, like, I have bridal showers. So our family's so big that you couldn't invite all the family to the wedding because there was so many of us. There was 37 cousins, whatever it was.
Right, yeah.
So
Jeez.
we would have a girls' night, and it was like you bring that person whatever you think they need for their home that they wouldn't get at a bridal shower. So you get batteries, toilet paper, a toolbox, duct tape, stuff that you need for your house. And it was really late, and my husband's like, there was tons of, well, he was my fiance at the time, there was tons of stuff that needed to go back to our house. And he goes, yeah, wow, that's a lot of stuff. Let's just get it tomorrow morning. She goes, no. We took the time to come and have this party for you. You'll take it tonight. And he was like, holy crap, like, what am I marrying into? But she was like a stickler for, like, doing the right thing, but she was the life of the party at the same time.
Yeah, then that was definitely definitely her. Now this, I'm not sure about these, Derek. I'm hoping I get something.
All right.
So far I'm 0 for 2. A little bit. A couple things.
Not really.
Not really. So, I held these first,
Yeah.
and the second I held them, I felt like a weirdness in my left arm. And my hand, I don't know, I don't know what it was. It was a weird feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was an arm issue. I got anxious / this person nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Not like scary, just like, like
Mm-hmm.
tall, thin. I saw them dressed in a suit, a dark suit. It was always a man. But the big things were the first two. Was the something with the arm. I don't know if they had issues with their hands. I'm not quite sure. I just know my whole left arm and hand and everything felt a little weird the second I put them in my hands. But then I also got the anxious and the nervous right away as well. Like, this person was like, I don't know if that resonates at all with those watches.
Maybe the nervous and anxious part, but
Sorry, I
none
just
of
said what they were.
none of the other stuff was.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right.
I held a couple of what was in here,
Yeah.
and this person I got and was very gentle, a very peaceful person. When I say slow, I mean kind of like just.
Yeah.
They weren't always. It was. I didn't get that this person felt like they had to rush very often.
Mm-hmm.
They like to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they had a very electric personality.
Mm-hmm.
This was a man as well. You gave me that little, and the second I had the conservative with that, like with funds, almost frugal, but not to a bad way. Just like they knew when to spend money, versus being like myself, being really stupid with money. I don't know if I got uncle. I don't know if it was one of the uncles.
No.
So I'm not sure. That was the last thing I got. I have a question mark next to that one.
That was more accurate than the other one. Yeah.
This one. So then, as we were talking, I thought I was done, and then I was asked to go get that other last thing in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I only got 2 things out of that. I got shoulder issue,
Mm-hmm.
and something about physical labor, possibly a trade. I don't know if this person, what they did for a living. But that's the same person.
Yeah, it is the same person. Yeah. That's
So I don't know.
I say pretty close on that one. On that one there.
This is the second, and that was was kind of what I got with everybody's stuff.
Okay.
That's cool.
You know,
That's cool.
The
You
second one
get
was
something.
good. Yeah. Yeah. I would say you you're right in many counts, but not in all counts. But that's okay. I mean,
No,
you're not supposed to be right. In all
No,
counts.
I'm never all right. Honestly,
No.
like I said, sometimes like when we were talking, I'll get something in my head, and depending on what we're doing, if we're just talking, I'll mention it because sometimes I'm like, maybe I need to mention it because it might resonate with somebody. And I had to write down everything I was getting from each of those items.
I would say definitely the second one. You pretty much got that right on there.
Yeah. So that's what I got. So because I thought of that today, I was like, I'm at work and I'm saying, well, I know we're going to talk about our experiences and our stories, whether or not we have them or not. And I was like, well, I want to do something else too.
Right.
So I was thinking, well, let me see if I can do a little of that. So that was pretty much.
Well, the first thing, the watches there, those my dad said, I'm not quite sure that's the person that he said they were. Or if someone else had them before.
Oh, right.
So I wanted to bring something of my own, but I left everything at the beach. So because I brought stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I didn't tell you till today anyway.
Right, you didn't.
No. Yeah, that was my fault. It was kind of a last minute decision.
I like that decision though. I thought it was kind of cool. So why, like when you said you had a tough time touching the scarf, that's like.
Well, sometimes I just get like a feeling right away. Not only was it a tough time, I just felt the energy in it like right away. Like it was electric. I was just like, whoa, okay, there's a lot of energy in this thing. Not that it hurt or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, sometimes I can't. Sometimes I'll get something and it's so full of, like it's so full of energy, I can't even hold it. Sometimes I'll put it in front of me and just look at it because sometimes I can't. Or I'll hover over it. Because I can feel it that way too because I also do, because of the whole,
Reiki.
I do the Reiki. So I don't even have to sometimes touch something, but
That's cool.
I'm that gifted. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's really cool.
My head just swelled up a little bit.
That's okay.
Pop it later so I can get through
There's
the
enough
door.
room in here.
Yeah, I had a tough time on like, what do I bring?
Yeah, I figured if you had something or, if
I had
you were
lots of
comfortable with it,
stuff.
but...
I'm like the thief of people who dies. Like I'm
Fruit bowl.
Fruit bowl. Like it was so
that
funny.
just
I was
sounds
at
like
my
an interesting fruit bowl. You just need to take a picture of it. Now I want to look at it.
beautiful. It's actually beautiful, and I know that I'm the envy of everybody in my family because I took
It's
it.
because you're the favorite, right, Jen?
Yeah, I'm not. My grandmother's. No, Andrea was a favorite, but she loved me the most. She kept all of her
Did
clippings.
she actually tell you that, though?
No.
So you don't know.
So actually, at her eulogy, my oldest cousin said she had the art of making everybody feel like they were the favorite.
Right.
And she really did. Like,
Yeah.
you go to her house and she'd be like, I made your favorite iced coffee today. And you were like, thank you. And then she'd be like, someone else would walk in, I made your favorite Black Moons. And she always had the favorite for someone. It was like an art. She had 13 kids, like 37 grandchildren, like 950 great-grandchildren. She knew all of our birthdays. She knew all the ex-wives' birthdays. She was...
Oh, jeez Louise.
She was
Ex-wives,
a
wow.
saint.
How many were
Yeah.
there?
They were called the ex-laws. Yeah, she still loved them all.
I just have to say, Gina, only because where you are, that there's a bakery down the street from you at the corner of 28 and 97, that little one?
Yeah.
The best whoopie pies in my life. And the coconut cake. And, I'd say once every couple months when I'm hanging out with a friend of mine, I'm like, we have to do it. It's a bakery run this weekend. And I'll get...
You go there.
I'll get a
That's
piece
so
of coconut
funny.
cake and a whoopie pie.
Sugar and spice, I think it's called.
Yes.
God,
And there is
I've been there
everything
before.
nice.
Yeah, I've never been.
I've been there once, and I
So
can't remember why. Someone had sent me there for something. It was good.
And the cake is just, I think it's a regular cake but they put the coconut on top. But the cake is delicious and it's just it's really good.
We
with it.
digress back to food. So the foods of the evening were popcorn shrimp,
Popcorn shrimp.
McDonald's,
Yeah.
And dessert.
Cake. And cake.
And dessert.
On that note,
On that note, it's a full meal, and I think I'm stuffed.
Yeah, it was stuff.
And I'm gonna call it because it's almost midnight here. And
the latest I've stayed up.
well,
in
I'm
months.
I'm rounding up, but so I seriously want to thank you guys for coming over. It's always a pleasure for you, Derek, because I see you all the time.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Well,
Yeah. Well,
Are you guys
wait,
having? Are you guys having family breakfast? Can I come? I'm French,
it's
but-
well. See when he gets here. See what this
It's
is.
family discussions, what it is.
This is the thing, though. But if you come in at 10 o'clock, that's when people leave. You got to get here at 9.
No. I don't sleep at all.
That's not my
I
problem.
get up so early.
That's not my problem.
Sorry.
I don't care.
I'm sleeping.
I sometimes sleep through it. back in the day when I used to sleep till 10:30.
You always slept through it. I don't remember one time that you were there.
What are you talking about?
Whole family here, and you're sleeping through
Like
it.
there's a boatload of people. There's a boatload of people
I used to
here.
come at 8. She'd poke her head out like at 10 o'clock. How you doing, everyone? And she's telling me I got to be there in the morning.
Oh, how nice for you.
Anyway, so that being said,
Gotcha. Bye-bye.
that being said, thank you guys for coming over. Gina, seriously, you will come back, right?
I will.
I'm not scared.
I'm not scared
There
either.
you go. Jen,
And
that-
I was definitely
I love
like
that. I'm not
apprehensive all
scared.
day.
Yeah, me too.
So you're not.
I'm not scared at all.
You're
Nope,
not scared.
I'm
It's
good.
not. It's not a scary thing. It's not a scary thing. Don't listen to anything my cousin.
I'm not going to
tells
listen
you.
to Derek. That's all.
I feel like I need another session with Derek because it's happened at like all of the shit.
Like seriously, I mean, I don't
I
care.
still have 30, 40, 50 more stories.
I have a couple too.
This is the thing. This is the thing. What I'm trying to do with this show is pick topics where we can have more than one episode. So this will definitely be a topic again, and we could talk about something entirely different, whatever. But
Let's have a seance next time.
no,
Oh, no.
Hold
no,
on.
that takes.
I can't even wait 2 more minutes.
Look, you just made her leave the room entirely.
Let's open up those portals.
Nope.
And good night.
And we have all left the building.
Bye-bye.
We'll be seeing you on the lily pad.